Hey everyone, Mr. Sujano here, your source for gaming, tech, emulation, and open source news. Let's get started. Alright, to kick things off, we're talking about Nintendo GameCube and Wii emulation with Dolphin, and I would say this is a pretty big milestone. It's being reported over on Reddit Emulation that Dolphin now boots every Wii game. It seems as if the final thorn on the compatibility side for Dolphin was the Daring Game for Girls, which was released back in 2009. So if we head on over to the Dolphin website and take a look at the compatibility chart, if I click on Broken here, there is no game populating. If I click on Intro and Menu, there is no game populating. If I click on Start, the only game that pops up here is 1080 Snowboarding, and that seems to be the final thorn in Dolphin's side for just getting to starts. And that is a pretty big achievement. There is a big difference between booting and playable. Now, I don't know about you, but I would say that I'm not necessarily hung up on the fact that 1080 Snowboarding is not fully playable on Dolphin. The fact that Dolphin boots basically the entire library for both GameCube and Wii is amazing. So huge shoutouts to the Dolphin development team for, I would say, continuing to be amazing. They keep improving this emulator. They keep adding in new features, making tweaks, and making an already amazing emulator even better. But moving on, and next up we're going back one generation and talking about Nintendo 64 emulation with Gopher64, which is an N64 emulator written in Rust. The developer behind Gopher64 is the same person who is behind Simple 64, and at the time of filming, version 1.0.14 is the latest update. With this update, there's a whole bunch of fixes and some brand new stuff here. You can really crank it up now in Gopher64. They're allowing for up to 200% audio volume. Next up, we're talking about inZOI. We talked about inZOI just the other day when there's a pretty big controversy surrounding the fact that this game had Denuvo anti-tamper in it and didn't list it on Steam. And people were wondering why it had Denuvo anti-tamper given the fact that this is a single-player game. Anyways, here it seems that inZOI has resolved this in, I would say, the best of ways possible. They have removed Denuvo anti-tamper, and I would say that is a huge win. This game is set to release today. Now, I'm not just BSing you here. Here is the post from the developers over on their community hub on their Steam page, and it's titled, "Regarding the Removal of Denuvo from inZOI." Recently, we've seen growing concern around the implementation of the Denuvo anti-tamper solution in inZOI. We initially chose to implement Denuvo as a way to protect the game from illegal distribution. At the time, we believed this would help ensure the fairness for players who had properly purchased the game. However, after taking a closer look at community feedback, we quickly realized that this approach did not align with what our players wanted. I would say that is amazing, and I'm really happy they listened. But wait, there's more. We understand that removing Denuvo increases the game being cracked and illegally distributed after release. At the same time, we believe it opens up a valuable opportunity. It allows inZOI to become more freely configurable, unlocking new ways for players to shape new experiences for other players. We believe enabling this freedom from the very beginning will lead to innovative and long-term enjoyment for the community. And I couldn't agree more. This is a really big stance from the developers. But let me know your thoughts about this one in the comments below. What do you think about the developer listening to the gamers here and removing Denuvo? What do you think about the future of this game given the fact that the developers seem really focused on creating a game that the gamers really want? I'm surprised that they're listening so much to gamers that they would remove something like Denuvo. I think more developers should be listening. Anyways, here this is, I would say this is a really big win for the game. Next up here is more of just a friendly heads up. It's something interesting I saw over on Reddit Emulation on Android, and it has to do with 3DS emulation and Citra MMJ. Someone created a very interesting skin for the emulator. Is it optimal? I would say no from a screen size perspective, but at the same time here, from an aesthetic perspective, this one looks pretty good. If you are curious about this one, full details are up on this post, and like everything we talk about, link is in the description below at the bottom. I don't hide my sources. Next up, we're talking about baseball, and this announcement comes right from MLB, and no, it's not about the Switch 2 logos on the Seattle Mariners jerseys. They say here, Major League Baseball partners with renowned video game publisher Konami Digital Entertainment in global multi-year sponsorship deal promoting the new game, eBaseball MLB Pro Spirit. I'll be honest with you, I don't like that name at all. Anyways here, this could be big for Konami. This could be big for fans of baseball games. eBaseball Pro Spirit, or MLB Pro Spirit, is already available for Android and iOS. On Android here, it's got over 500,000 downloads with only a 3.6 star rating. It's a free-to-play game. I haven't checked out this game yet, but if you have, let me know your thoughts about it in the comments below and if it's worth checking out. I'm usually pretty darn skeptical about free-to-play games, but based on the sponsorship deal here, I think this game is going to be around for a while, and it seems it's going to be more popular as time goes on, given the fact that MLB is promoting it or sponsoring it. Next up here, we're talking about Nintendo, and Nintendo posted this shortly after I posted my news video yesterday. Just bad timing on my behalf, I guess. Anyways, they say tune in tomorrow, March 27th, which is today at the time of filming, at 7 a.m. PT for a live stream Nintendo Direct, featuring around 30 minutes of upcoming games for Nintendo Switch. There will be no updates about the Nintendo Switch 2 during this presentation. I saw a lot of people upset about that fact, but I mean, we know more about the Switch 2 on April 2nd, not too long from now. We don't have to wait too much longer. Anyways, here, there haven't been a whole lot of leaks about what games are going to be showcased. There was a leak about the Nintendo Direct happening, but that's really about it. So I'm curious to see what they show off here, and possibly by the time you're watching this video, this has already happened. Next up here, I'm going to rattle your nostalgia a little bit, possibly depending on your age, and I'm going to mention something that, well, you probably haven't heard in a while, and that's Napster. And Napster was just bought for $207 million. I'm surprised that Napster is still around and worth that much money, and I'm very surprised for the intentions behind the purchase. I mean, CNBC is reporting here that the purchaser of Napster is Infinite Reality, which plans to create virtual 3D spaces that allow music fans to enjoy concerts or listening parties together. That's a really big departure from what Napster initially was. Let me know your thoughts about this one and if you'd be interested in Napster in this kind of form. I mean, virtual 3D spaces to allow music fans to enjoy concerts kind of seems, I don't think it's necessarily a new concept. Anyways, here it's, well, we'll see where this goes, and we'll see whether or not it was worth $207 million. Next up here, we're talking about a game that I was very excited about, and now I've got some mixed feelings about. We're talking about Fatal Fury City of the Wolves. I've talked about this game a number of times on the channel, and it's one I'm really looking forward to. Or was looking forward to, or really now I don't know. I mean, this collaboration was rumored for a while, and now we can kind of see it in the flesh. And it's Cristiano Ronaldo as being part of the playable cast in this game. He is collaborating with Fatal Fury here. I think this will really help out game sales, but at the same time, just to me, this doesn't fit too well in the overall narrative of things. You can disagree with me on that, but a lot of soccer players go down pretty easy. And I think based on this, it's going to be pretty tough to take Cristiano Ronaldo down. And taking a look at the comments here, and people seem to be in the relative headspace that I'm currently in. I never thought the phrase, yeah, I main Cristiano Ronaldo in Fatal Fury exists now. Namco brings Negan to Tekken 7. You will never match this random guest character. SNK, hold my beer. Ronaldo mains being a real thing is insane. I am curious to hear your thoughts on the matter though, so let me know in the comments below. I mean, I'm going to be picking up this game regardless, but at the same time here, this is such a weird collaboration. I'm not for it and I'm not against it. It's just in a very weird space to me. Now, earlier in this video, we talked about rattling your nostalgia and Napster. And if you've watched anime and some older anime stuff, you may be excited about this one, you may not be. Space Adventure Cobra: The Awakening is a 2D or 2.5D Metroidvania set to be released on August 26th. If you are curious about this one, it's going to be coming out for Xbox, PlayStation, Steam, and I think the Switch. And, well, it's based on an anime that was released back in 1978. The only catch here is that the anime was like 12 or 13 episodes long, so I'm curious to see the length of this overall game and if they run out of content pretty quick. Next up, we're talking about Monsterpatch, which is a cozy monster collecting RPG, and we talked about this game before the Kickstarter went live. Well, the Kickstarter has gone live, and this game has absolutely crushed its goal. In Canadian dollars here, they're asking for $21,400, and they've already raised over $134,000. Absolutely killed it, and there's still 28 days left to go. Now, if you're not a fan of backing Kickstarters, you can probably wait until this game hits Steam. I mean, this game already has raised quite a bit of money, and I would assume that it's going to be successful and going to be hitting Steam at some point. The cheapest tier on this one is $20 to get one Steam key for the game. If you're a fan of Pokemon, if you're a fan of Animal Crossing, maybe not Animal Crossing, I mean there is a creation element, but there's battling here. So maybe, maybe not. But if you're a fan of Pokemon, this is to me kind of like a Pokemon Plus. You have multiple characters on the battlefield and you can create stuff. It's a really cool concept. I'm hoping it pans out very well. Next up is a quick heads up about Nintendo Switch 2 and the Nintendo Switch 2 live in-person experience event. And it seems that they're in the process of setting this up and people are capturing footage of logos and stuff already. I'm curious to see what this event entails, but it seems that some high-profile creators will be invited. I highly doubt I'd be invited to an event like this, but who knows? But anyways, that is all I've got for you in this one. Straight to the point, all stuff and no fluff. Thanks to everyone who posted news tips in the comments. Thanks to everyone who posts news tips on Discord. And thanks to everybody who sends me news tips overall. I couldn't do this without you. We talked about a bunch today. Feel free to discuss anything we talked about in the comments below. If you like this video, leave a like. If you didn't like this video, leave a like. Hit that subscribe button. Check out my other videos. Don't tempt fate. Save your state. And I'll see you tomorrow.